Salute, BookTube. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I've got part 3 of my ongoing autumnal book haul. I've already posted part 1 and 2 on my channel. This is part 3. And there's probably going to be a part 4 and a part 5. I went book shopping and I went a bit overboard. But again, as I have mentioned in my previous 2 parts to this haul, I don't do this because book haul videos usually get a lot of viewing, and people think you get lots of big book hauls for shock factor or wow factor. That's not why I do it. I do it because, like I mentioned, where I live, and for those who don't know, I live in the heart of the Middle East in the United Arab Emirates. There's about 3 used English bookstores in the whole country. So if I don't patronize them, actually, there's 4. I should be fair. There's 4. If I don't patronize them, they could get in trouble. And I want to add to the number of used bookstores here, not decrease on them. So I try to patronize them as much as possible when I can with bigger purchases. So there's that. Number 2, I wanted to say just before we start is these parts, I should have labeled them on the titles of the book haul, like part 1 and part 2 and now part 3. They're sort of themed. The first one was books inspired by BookTube, fellow booktubers, fellow commenters, friends who have become friends. Just what they say, what they've been saying, what they recommend, what they like, what I hear, if I see, I take. Part 2, if we can give it a theme, was more history, and it was a division between Arabiana and Americana, books about the USA, and then books about Arabia and the Middle East. That was the theme for that. This is part 3. I think the theme for this is going to be classics. These are classics, and they're mostly fiction classics. Basically, yeah, as you'll see, just works of classical literature, a lot of older titles, older literature. So we'll start with that. We should get started. The first 2 parts were super long. I'm going to try to do this in a shorter, condensed time. I'm going to give it my best shot. The first book, this author, I've given him try after try. Treasure Island, I tried. It just didn't work for me. Maybe, I don't know why. The other one was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Again, it didn't work too much for me. I'm going to give him another try. Of course, it's Robert Louis Stevenson. This is called The Black Arrow. It's a bit torn here, but again, support the bookshop. These Signet classics I really like. I have no idea what this is about, but I'm going to give him another try. Maybe I should reread Robert Louis Stevenson because he comes really well recommended on BookTube. A lot of booktubers just they love him, especially British booktubers. Maybe more than American booktubers, but anyway, I'll give this one a try. In the same vein, these are also these small paperback Signet classics. This one is The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. I've got Mrs. Dawah. I haven't dipped into Edith Wharton yet, but again, comes highly recommended on BookTube. I don't know what else to say. I think I like the age that she wrote in. If I'm not mistaken, these are the early 20th century, pretty much, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't say when this was originally published by Mrs. Wharton, but again, I don't know much about this author, but again, I'm mostly a reader of nonfiction, so when it comes to fiction, I'm a bit all over the place. So I'm looking forward to giving Edith Wharton a try. And then the third Signet classic paperback, this is Dante Alighieri's The Inferno. I don't know if this is the best copy of The Inferno to have. I think it's translated by John Ciardi. Is it Ciardi or Chiardi? It's with a C. I'm really sorry. I should have wiped my camera. I think the lens is really dirty, but the author, the translator is John Ciardi, I believe. I know that there's an Inferno and there's a Paradiso and there's Purgatorio. I haven't dipped into Dante. I don't know again if this is the best copy, but it was there, so I grabbed it. I don't even know if this is the right place to start. I have no idea, but I'll take a look into it, or maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. Next, this is a book. Again, it was there. It was cheap. I want to support the bookshop. I said I'll give it a try. I've heard about the movie version of this, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I think starring, was it Brad Pitt, or am I mixing things up? Anyway, it's Henrik Harrer, and it's 7 years in Tibet. I just want to know if this is translated, because Heinrich Harrer was born in 1912 in Carinthia and studied at the University of Graz, where he distinguished himself in both geography and athletics. His skiing prowess, well, he's Austrian, won him a place in the 1936 Austrian Olympic team, and in 1937 he won the World University Slalom Championship. Anyway, the bio goes on, but I believe this was originally written in German. Yeah. Where is the name of the translator is not mentioned. Translated from the German by Richard Graves, with an introduction by Peter Fleming. Again, I vaguely know that this is World War II sort of fiction set in Tibet. I vaguely remember the movie when I was younger, but I haven't watched it in depth and don't know much again about the book. So we'll see. Maybe I'll read the book and the movie, watch the movie. If the book is good, I'll watch the movie. Even if the book is bad, I'll watch the movie. The next book, this one maybe should have gotten the influence by BookTube. Two booktubers swear, I believe, well, I know one of them, and I believe the second booktuber also swears by this author. Both of them claim that this is one of their favorites, or in a certain booktuber's case, their favorite. The first booktuber I'm mentioning is Alex at the Unabashed Reader. I think he says this is his favorite book. And if I'm not mistaken, I think JJ, the bookworm blacksmith, I think she also mentioned that this is one of her favorites. Anyway, it's Alexander Dumas, The Count of Monte Cristo, and this nice Oxford World Classics. I don't know. A lot of people on BookTube say they like the Penguins. I don't know. I find the Oxford Classics just nicer covers, just better made. I don't know. I find them more often, much more than I do Penguins. Maybe it's because of where I'm located. But again, Alexander Dumas, I've read The Three Musketeers and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. And if the booktubers that I enjoy watching say that this is really good, I'll take them at their word. So if they say it's good and I really enjoyed The Three Musketeers, then I'm sure the Count of Monte Cristo will be good. Next, this book is I guess technically nonfiction, much more Middle Eastern based. This is Ibn Khaldun's The Muqaddamah. The subtitle is An Introduction to History. Ibn Khaldun, and then the subtitle is The Classic Islamic History of the World. And Ibn Khaldun is he was an Islamic travel writer and historian who, again, I should know more about his background, but I don't know how much traveling he actually did. Of course, this edition, it's a Princeton University Press edition, has an introduction, so probably tell me more. It'll probably have a short bio of Ibn Khaldun. I really, off the top of my head, don't know too much, and I don't want to talk because I don't know too much. But what I do know, his theories, because I read earlier this year, I read this book. It's actually close by, conveniently, this book, Nomads, by Anthony Satine. And in Nomads, he actually uses Ibn Khaldun's his theory of history. He uses Ibn Khaldun's theory of history to to discuss nomads and how nomads reinvigorate civilization. I think again, if I'm not mistaken, the theory of Ibn Khaldun is sort of like a cyclical look at history. Sort of a power gets, or a society gets into power, they reach their peak, but then slowly, once they become too settled and too comfortable, usually they start as nomadic tribesmen, they get civilized, they take over, they reach a peak, but then they get too comfortable and too indulgent and too, pretty much too comfortable, and then they get overthrown in a cyclical way by more fierce, hungrier, more ambitious nomads who take over, and that's how civilizations are replaced. Again, there's the back cover copy. Maybe, I don't know if it mentions this. This is a 1-volume abridged version. Okay, I think the original is three volumes, so this is an abridgment. But again, I dip my toe in it. I don't know if I described his historical theory well, but maybe I can give you a better description after I read it. Happy to have the abridged version. I usually try to avoid abridged versions, but again, these older works, it's good to tip my toe. Again, if I really, really like it, I'll find a way to get the three volumes. The next work was a surprising find. Again, if you saw my last tag, which I was tagged by Elizabeth as I lay reading, she had discussed Oscar Wilde in her version of the dance battle, the author dance battle tag. This is the complete illustrated works of Oscar Wilde. Classic fiction, but it's the complete illustrated work. So there's a lot of illustrations. Again, I haven't dipped into much. I haven't done any Oscar Wilde. I haven't read any Oscar Wilde, so I don't know. But this is, I guess, all of his works. Is it the complete? Yeah, the complete. But it's also illustrated. There's some illustrations, nice illustrations. Again, I probably should say by who. Is it one single illustrator or many illustrators? It's got the picture of Dorian Gray, excuse me. It gives all the publication of the actual text, but the drawings I think is here. All rights in the drawings are by Alfred Kubin. Again, I'm not sure if it's one, and I don't know if these are original illustrations from Oscar Wilde's works. I don't know, but nice copy to have. Okay, we'll keep going. Another classic. This is from 19th century Victorian classic. We're in the heart of Victober here on BookTube, which is where you read Victorian. You're encouraged to read Victorian fiction, but you can, I guess, also read Victorian nonfiction. I'm reading both. I'm actually reading this author now as part of Steve Donohue's read along. But this is another book. This is Anthony Trollope's Dr. Thorne. Don't know much about this. But Anthony Trollope, his works are, I don't want to say they're all the same. No, they're all entertaining. I really enjoy them, but they're all similar in setting, and then it's pretty much upper class English, countryside, 19th century. It's almost uniform. I think this is more of the same. I don't know if this is part of a series or not. Yeah, this is the third of the 6 Barchester novels. Okay. Oh, excellent. I didn't even know that's why I picked it up. But I've read the first 2, I think Barchester Towers and The Warden, and I really enjoyed them. So yeah, there's a good excuse to keep going with the Barchester series. Happy to have it. I've actually read Anthony Trollope, thanks to Steve Donohue. I think now is the fiction author I've read the most, probably. So this will only increase my reading of Trollope. Next book, this is the edition I enjoyed. I enjoyed. I liked the look of the book because I have another. It's actually also within reach, so I can get it. It's in this sort of leather cover. Uh, this is J.M. Barrie Peter Pan. I don't know why I got it, but as you, I don't. You can't tell, of course, but this is like a sort of leathery cover. Where the nice artwork comes in is, oh well, there's a paper here. Okay, the back cover is the same. It's sort of like got nice artwork here. It's the second version I have that's like this. These are made by, who is it? Word Cloud Classics. I've also got Tarzan of the Apes and Return of Tarzan. It's like an anthology by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Look at this artwork. Isn't that cool? Anyway, this I had before, and this is the same version. Again, Peter Pan. I don't think I've read it, but I remember the cartoons, the movie when I was younger. Um, but hardly remember anything else. Okay, the next one is a classic. It's a chunker. It's well known, but it's in very good condition. It's in the Wordsworth classics line, which is they're good, but they don't last. They're not very sturdily made, but this is a classic of Russian literature, Leo Tolstoy, War and Peace. I don't know. I'm sure everybody watching this knows this. Even if you're not a reader, you probably know this. But yeah, War and Peace. I haven't dipped into Russian literature, and it's a shame. I wanted to. I was thinking of making 2025 the year I read Russian literature, but 2025 became the year where I started BookTube. So that didn't work out. I'm thinking 2026, but 2026 is the 250th anniversary of America, so I might be focusing on my big American history shelves of books, and I want to, which I want to read and clear, keep what I like and clear what I don't need or don't want or didn't like. So I don't know. Are we gonna move Russian classics to 2027? I don't know, but I'm lucky because we've got Angelina at Books Do Things to Me, who's of Russian origin. She might be helpful. There's also the Active Mind booktuber, who's so into Russian literature that he actually started learning Russian and speaks not bad. There was a video where he was speaking in Russian. He's quite good. He's I don't want to say he's mastered it, but he's definitely reached conversational levels. So his channel might be helpful. But I like to do reading projects, and I don't know when I can do because I've never read Dostoevsky, I've never read Tolstoy, I haven't read the other Russian Pushkin and others. So one day I should, but it's just a question of when, not if. Next book, I mentioned Alex at the Unabashed Reader. He, when he was mentioning this book, he said he preferred it to well, maybe I should say who the author is first. It's Homer. This is the Odyssey, translated by Robert Fagles. This is the Penguin edition. I actually said I prefer Oxford World Classics. I guess this line of Penguin are nice. Maybe I take it back, but these are like deluxe editions. And this is the second version of the Odyssey I have. I have another Odyssey. I don't know who it's translated. I should have took it out before, but it's the Everyman's Library edition. This one is the Penguin edition. I think it's a different translator, so it'll be good to compare. But Alex at the Unabashed Reader said he preferred the Odyssey to the Iliad, and I agree. I read the Iliad, I read the Odyssey, and I preferred the Odyssey. I read both the Iliad and the Odyssey actually when I was traveling through Greece. I took a holiday through to Greece and through the Greek islands, Athens and the Greek islands, and I was just reading as I was going along. The only issue, I was reading it on my tablet, which was, I think I took the free non-copyrighted versions on Project Gutenberg. So they were really old. They were old translation. I think they were translated by Alexander Pope, who was a 18th century poet. So they weren't the most up-to-date or the most modern translations. But I slogged through them and I got through it. I'll be looking forward to rereading these maybe with a more modern translator. and enjoying them. So yeah, happy to have this one. Um, and then next is a okay. I just want to make sure because I don't want books to drop. I should have fixed my ergonomics before I actually started recording. Like I should have cleared the lens because it looks a bit grainy. But anyway, this one is a like the collection of Oscar Wilde. This is the collected Jack London. 36 stories, 4 complete novels, and a memoir, edited by Stephen J. Casden. Uh, Again, there's To Build a Fire, which I've read when I was younger, like a child, like my early reading. Call of the Wild, yeah, White Fang. What was the other famous one? Anyway, for those who don't know, again, a very well-known classic author. Jack London wrote a lot of books about the North, basically like the Yukon and Alaska. Um, yeah, so happy to. It's actually a nice edition. And then if I have this and I enjoy reading from it, there's no need for me. I think I have the others like Call of the Wild and his other works in like individual smaller paperbacks. I can get rid of those and just keep this. So, that's helpful. Okay, and then there's one more book or two more books I want to show, but they're bigger and I just need to move. I'm getting out of camera. This is slowly becoming a disaster video. So the first one is I have actually opened this, but it's The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Again, I should know more about this author. He's Arab American. He immigrated to America, but he was a Lebanese immigrant to America in the early 20th century, and yeah, his poet, The Prophet, is famous. So you sort of take it out of. I should have done that on camera. I think I did it off camera. You basically take it out of the slipcover. And it's got this sort of, I don't know what this is. It's like a hand. Again, I haven't read The Prophet. I also have a biography of Khalil Gibran. So this might give me the kick in the behind to read The Prophet, his most famous poem or work of prose, and then read his biography. But it's like in this nice sort of font with nice, and then if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there's nice illustrations, so it's a nice version to have. A little bit of nudity, some more nudity, but nice font and nice illustrations and a nice slipcover. Excited to have this one, and then the final book. Famous Victorian author is Charles Dickens, but this isn't Charles Dickens as you know it. This is Charles Dickens, non-fiction writer. It's A Child's History of England. And that cover there, I think that's Henry VIII and two of his wives, or I don't know who the ladies are. I'm not even sure if that's Henry VIII, but this book though is again, somebody just took the text, because you can probably find this on Project Gutenberg. Charles Dickens, of course, is outside of his original works are outside of copyright, so you could find this easily on Project Gutenberg. It seems somebody just printed it, put it in a cover, and just sold it, because it's just has an ISBN number and the title and Charles Dickens. And I don't know about Charles. I never knew he wrote a children's history of England. I never knew he wrote history, but here it is. It's quite large. It's a bigger book. It's large, but it's also quite thick, and it just goes. I mean, chapter 1 is ancient England and the Romans, and it goes all the way. Ends where? At England under Charles II, called the Merry Monarch. So the Restoration. Oh, sorry, and then England under James II. And there's a final chapter without a title, which is strange. But anyway, I guess till the Civil War or the Glorious Revolution. Anyway, I found it again. I could have found this on Project Gutenberg, but again, to support the used bookshops here, I said I'll pay not too much for it, so I got it. But yeah, that's it. Okay, this one is still long, but at least much more merciful than the previous ones. Again, I don't know too much about. I don't want to say I don't know too much about, but I'm less aware of fiction authors. I've read much less fiction than I have nonfiction, so maybe that's why I don't want to talk too much because I don't know too much about the authors or their works. So, yeah, with that, BookTube, I'll thank you again for watching this. I'll wrap it up, and I hope to see you for part 4 soon enough. Thank you, BookTube. Salute.